Thanks for listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shannon Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, technology, and instructional coach for my district.
And I'm our producer and husband, Fuzz Martin, and each week I just explore different ways to make this show sound better. And it's not through great puns.
Nice.
Though I'd like it to be. Expedition, explore.
Yeah, exploring. It works. Spelunking.
Spelunking. Isn't that going through caves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason why I know that word is because back in the day when Carmen Sandiego would go on the adventures, like spelunking was one of the options.
I remember that. And this studio is kind of like a cave. It's a little dark, and
there's only one way in and one way out.
I mean, there's a window. We could go out through the window
I suppose
if we needed to, but
we have little lanterns of light.
We do. We have little lanterns of light. And my hair is crazy right now from wearing a knit hat because it's winter.
Because it's cold.
We're going to see ice sculptures.
After this, in the cold.
In the 13-degree weather. So
it's great.
13 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a negative 11 Celsius, negative 10.5 Celsius.
So we are going to take a field trip to a warmer place.
Yes.
So
please take us somewhere where we can warm up.
Yes. So we have a quick one this week, and I was really excited because I was digging around and finding additional resources for some teachers I was working with. And I love to play around in Google Arts and Culture because there's always so much that it offers, but they're always changing it as well. So it's not just like when you go to the site, you may find something really cool, and then the next time it might be gone. But a lot of times they're also upgrading and adding things, and you can find the different pieces that you were looking at beforehand. You just have to dig a little deeper. Well, they've changed up kind of how they do their virtual field trips, and it's artsandculture.google.com/project/expeditions. If you just type in Google Expeditions, you'll find it. So what they have done is they have totally made virtual field trips amazing. And they're reorganized in a different format. You don't always have to go. They have the museum things and like that, but they've changed it up.
Okay.
So first, when you're scrolling through the page, there's lots and lots of choices, but you're going to want to pick a subject. So it's like, pick a subject: science and technology, arts, geography, natural history. So I started with science because that's what I was looking for resources for. And oh my gosh, there's so many cool things. I was visiting another school, and I was in a chemistry classroom this week. And so I was like, oh, let's see what they have for the periodic table. Well, you click on the periodic table, gives you the background of it. And as you're scrolling through then, it basically is a mini lesson. And these are created for teachers and students in a classroom or individually for students to explore the world. So they are very much meant for education. And it walks you through how the periodic table was built. And then as you scroll, it like cruises around. You feel like you're standing in a space with the periodic table in giant form in front of you. And it like cruises around the screen so you can see the different pieces. And as you're doing so, it gives you information about like the history and the background of the periodic table, the different sections of the periodic table. As you scroll, it talks like, here's the elements, explains what they are and how it works. Table numbers, how it works. And it goes through, and it's not just like 5 or 6 slides. It is like lessons and discussion, and it poses questions like, where did they come from? The first 5 elements were created during the Big Bang. It goes through all of the explanations. Like, it is a really cool website. Tour through it. And then they have like noble gases, and then they go through and they make it look like a carnival. And then they go through and explain each piece of it. And this is, you just keep going and going. It's all these lessons. And then it goes through, like, it's just a really cool explanation of the periodic table, along with being really entertaining at the same time as it's explaining it to you. So then you can, if you've gone through the periodic table or you're not teaching something about that, you can go right back into science. They have rocks, minerals, and gems, molecules, science superheroes, astronomy, optics and the behavior of light and color. Then as you scroll through science, they have great minds. You can click on female scientists. And like I have a little STEM Explorers group that I do that I will be showing.
For sure, yeah. This
with my
right
little
up that alley. Yep.
STEM Explorers, and explains the different female scientists and how they have gone through and explained things and different people and what they've accomplished. And then to Infinity Beyond, they have all like the space tours, which they've built in. They kind of had a few of those before, so they've just organized it. Cracking the code, the evolution of computers, how, what, where, and why, like forms of energy, magnetism, simple machines. So it doesn't really matter what you're teaching. They have something to tour for it, which is really cool. And that's just the science section. So if you go back, you want the arts, you want geography. Like I can click on geography. It'll take me through different parts of the world. If I want to do a trip to the North Pole, I can scroll through there. And it's really cool because it shows then trip to the North Pole. You're finally here. Temperatures between 25 and 35 Fahrenheit. The wind conditions make it seem colder. And then explains it. And there's like scientists there and explains the ship and how they got there and the tools and all kinds of stuff. It's very cool. And then you can scroll down like through the geography section and it talks about people and their parties. So it talks about different celebrations with different cultures. And then our extreme planet talks about the different parts of our planet, from the sea to the desert to the Mount Everest, which I took you, I think, to... Did I take you to Mount Everest this morning? And I was like, you gotta see this.
It was a long journey, but yes.
I took you to Mount Everest. We took a field trip.
Yes.
So then like Mount Everest has its own section and it goes through and it's cool because they're like moving panoramic pictures.
Yeah.
So it gives you some information and it cruises through the area and it teaches you about it. And again, it's not just like 5 slides. Like it's a whole like lesson learning about Mount Everest and base camp and getting there. What are you currently exploring? You're touring things?
Mount Everest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking to see how tall Mount Everest was.
Have you gotten there yet?
Not
still reading.
Yeah. I went to Wikipedia for that one real quick. So.
Nice. But you can explore specific places then, like Rio de Janeiro and Greece and Madagascar and Antarctica and Mexico City and Istanbul. There's just so many different places to go. And then that's the geography section. You can go in the art section, you go in natural history, but wait, there's more. Then they have just a history specific section. They can go throwback in time and it will take you through ancient ruins throughout history, meeting historical figures. It goes through Black history, how we used to live, memorable moments. So then they have all these different pieces, or recent history rewind, and you can pick different things going on in the world and then tour through those. So the organization of it is really easy to follow. It's not just touring museums. You were there and you were learning about whatever subject or topic it is. And then you could even start this as a class lesson, like, hey, we're talking about this today in these places. And then you can send students off on their own to kind of do their own investigation as well. They could build this as like as a base to create their own. But there's just so many different ways to use these in the classroom. And they're fascinating. Like, it's not an overwhelming amount of information because it's given to you in small pieces, but it teaches you a lot in small pieces, if that makes sense. Yep. Like it's easy to digest, as we say with our kids. So I'm really excited because I shared some of these with my teachers, but now as I'm digging through even more, I'm like, oh, well, this teacher's going to get an email this one and this teacher's getting this one. Just because there's so many cool things to explore and learn from in a really quick way. And get it out there to your students and just engage them. And when you need something warm and a warm place to visit, you can find one real quick and feel like it's warm and cozy and not freezing cold.
Yes. Perfect. Though I am looking at a picture of snow right now, so I should go look for something warmer. By the way, I could have just went to the main page about Mount Everest on here, and the height was right there, first sentence. So
you just needed to read.
I just needed to read.
Nice.
Yeah.
See?
And then I did. And now
you know. The more you know. Do.
Yeah.
If anybody knows that. My reference to that.
No, what was that? The more you know. Oh, that was
the little star with the rainbow that you shoot across your TV
NBC
screen.
Yeah, I think it was NBC. The more you know.
Yeah. There you go.
Boom, bing, boom. Yeah, that's where you're going. Yeah, I get you now. We're there with you. Saturday morning cartoons.
There you go.
Very good.
Well, on that note, go do some exploring and have some fun.
Yes.
And enjoy.
And explore someplace warm for us, please.
Go on an expedition someplace warm.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on the app, formerly known as Twitter.
X.
That's SmartNWI or on Threads. And if you want to get more information on the links to the technology discussed in this episode, you can visit smartnwi.com. If you like to support the show, please consider buying me a coffee or two. Visit buymeacoffee.com/smartnwi or visit smartnwi.com and click on that cute little purple coffee cup. Your donations help keep this show going. New episodes each week. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
The ideas and opinions expressed in this podcast and the Smart NWI website are those of the author, Shannon Martin, and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies discussed on this podcast, please consult with your employer regulations. This podcast offers no guarantee that these tools will work for you as we've described, but we sure hope they do. And we'll talk to you next time here on the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast.